Hi, it's Karen at the Cool Tool Studio, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use our Zodiac Constellation Templates. These templates are different from our usual jewelry shaped templates because they were designed for embossing. They were printed with the pattern in mirror, so when it's flipped over for embossing, the pattern ends up facing the right way. Here's what you're going to need for this project. I have a work surface, a tough card, a Zodiac Constellation template, a precision hole punch, and an ultra clay pick, some easy 960, cool slip, clay thickness rolling frames, a circle template, sanding pads, and a wonder roller. Let's get started. So I'm going to start off by preparing my surface with cool slip, and that's just going to help keep my clay from sticking. And you want to start by rolling your clay thicker than you want your piece to be because you want some material to push through the embossing holes. So I'm going to start off by rolling to 4 cards thickness. And we'll see if I have enough clay there. Yep, that'll be perfect. So now I'm going to go down to a 3 cards thickness rolling frame, and I'm going to feel for the side that has the etching in it, and that's the side that I want to go down into my clay so we get those nice embossed lines. So I don't want this to stick either, so I'm going to prep that area with some cool slip as well. And again, make sure my etched lines are down. And now I'm going to try to get one nice even roll to emboss this texture onto the clay. So just like that, you've got the stars and the lines that connect them. And I'm going to pick a circle that fits nicely around it. I like a little more edge, so I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to cut that outside edge with my ultra clay pick. And then I'm going to use my precision hole punch. And I still have some cool slip down here I'm going to prep it with. And I'm going to punch a hole for my pendant to hang from. So I'm going to clear away my extra clay, and then I'm going to allow this to dry before refining it. My piece is dry and I'm ready to sand it. So I'm going to start with a fine and work my way down to a microfine to soften this outside edge. And I love these new black tough cards for this because they really show all the clay dust that you're removing and makes it so you can reclaim the most of your clay. So I'm just going to work my way around, and I'm kind of gently rounding this top edge just a little bit so it's not sharp. So we're on to the ultra fine. And it's amazing how quickly clay cleans up. Now finishing up with that microfine. So because of the nature of the templates and the way they're etched, if you look very closely, there is a slight pattern to the lines there. If you would like, you can sand that out. And it's just with the micro pad, just a really quick couple of passes, and that'll remove that. If it bothers you, I think it's kind of nice. But since I started, I'll go ahead and remove it from this one. And then if these ended up raising kind of squared, you can round those out a touch too. And just like that, you have a very sweet and simple zodiac pendant. Another way that these templates can be used as a guide for additional embellishment. So let's take a look at one of those options. So for this variation on the project, we're going to be using little stars to accent this constellation. And there's a whole video on how I made those stars, but briefly, they're made by pushing clay into the low areas and then scraping it off. Then this mold is dried, and the clay in it just pops out and gives you all these cute little elements to work with. So to apply those stars, I'm going to need some tweezers. I'm also going to be working with a small needle file and then a wick away with a brush. I also still have my sanding pads from earlier. So this piece was made exactly as my previous one was, and now we're ready to add the accents. If you'll notice also though, at the very bottom here, there's a piece left from its neighboring unit, and that's really easy to clean up. I'm just going to file that off. I'm using the fine sanding pad here because I'm removing material. And then I'm going to smooth that area out by working my way down through the sanding pads. And that's just a result from the constellations being close to each other on the template, because otherwise we'd have to have a ginormous template to fit all these different sizes. But just like that, you'll never know it was there. Before I add those little star accents, I'm going to remove the dots here, and I'm just going to file them down with a small needle file. And just getting them low enough that I can add the star accent on top without a gap between it and this base layer of clay. So in this method of using the templates, you're using it more as a guide. So I'm making sure I'm going nice and flat across and not angling down so I don't nick my edges. And I'm just going to clean up all these little dots. So I brought those dots down some, and now I have a nice guide on where to place my stars. And I'm going to begin by dampening where the star is going to go. Picking a star, and then I just like to dunk these guys. And then I like to place it and then use the flat back end to apply a little bit of pressure. And I'm just going to keep doing that and place a star on all of these points. So this piece is dry, and just to show you how well that's connected with just water there, I'm just going to do some final touch-up work and use the micro pad on the top of these finishing touches. And then I'm also just going to give this whole surface kind of a general sanding, since I really focused there and kind of compressed that area. I don't want there to be a difference in the surface of my clay when it's fired. I'm going to finish refining this piece, and then I'm going to fire it on an open shelf at 1675 for 2 hours. Here are my finished pendants. I used patina gel to darken them before removing it from the high areas and putting them in the tumbler to shine them up. I had a lot of fun with this project, and there's lots of ways that you can make it your own. On this one, I added a little burst stone. And now that I'm thinking about it, it would be really nice to add some accent gold to the stars on this piece. These Zodiac Constellation Templates make it really easy to make a personalized piece. I'd love to see what you do with them. Thanks for watching.
Visit our Learning Center at cooltools.us for more cool jewelry making videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to sign up for our email list to be the first to hear about new videos, new products, and other cool stuff from Cool Tools.